Okay, he kissed you badly in college, but he consensually you. Oh, we better call the cops, bro. Dude, I mean, that was nothing. I mean, what? Okay, you had a really experience in college and said some things which could be worse than that, but that nothing to back up, just you saying it. Whoa!
If Naomi is watching, I encourage you to do the right thing and return that money to the people who donated.
Bro, he's literally, he's like flipped completely. This is insane.
As someone who loves books and stories, I know how powerful words are, and I was careless with mine. I will be taking some time away from the internet.
No way. Further insights, information, and an allegation has come forward. We thought the story was dead, or I thought the story was dead. But guess what? It's not. It's not. There's one more allegation in the pipe, and we're going to take a look at it now. But as always, ladies and gents, whoa! As always, a man's life hangs in the balance. Yet we see another great review. Let's get into it. Thank you for the super chats.
Shave your heads and put on orange glasses because this segment is Skinwalking Mate Tim.
So straight away, we've got a problem. That Naomi here is trying to bring forward another allegation. Okay? And, like, it is literally the fucking boy who cried wolf. Like, you cannot possibly have fucked this up this badly and then try and bring forward another allegation. A woman could have actually been, like, fully fucked by Daniel Greene, and you bringing it forward is going to sully it because you have destroyed your own situation. So she ended up deleting this. That being said, I do think I want to put that to one side and just try and assess this as it is, despite this person having unclean hands, okay? But let's have a look and let's see what this allegation is and what we think about it, okay?
Hey guys, a couple days after I posted the cease and desist video, I was contacted by somebody who claims that they also had similar experiences with Daniel Greene. Again, this is just an allegation. I'm not saying that it is true. She wants to remain completely anonymous by name and face.
Right. So, not off to the best start. We've got a totally anonymous, in all aspects, allegation. Okay. I mean, I don't like the sound of that. I think anonymity, if you're looking to file legal proceedings broadly, is good. But on the basis of this, unless Daniel specifically remembers who this is, how is Daniel supposed to recall or address this? Like, it seems unreasonable that we're bringing forward a completely anonymous individual, and then it allows, like, they're making a public statement about it, but then that public statement isn't being allowed to be, you know, scrutinized in terms of who they are, do they know this person, and so on. So, straight away, I'm like, okay. And this person is the person bringing it forward. We'll put that to one side, but there are problems already. Let's listen and see. Give it a chance.
However, she is okay with me sharing her voice. Again, this is just an allegation. I am not saying that it's true, but somebody reached out and she wanted to share her story. So I will be putting some audio from our chat in here, and I've dictated all this stuff onto the screen if you wanted to, you know, hear somebody else's experience with him in the past.
We went to UMW college together. We were both in the same year. This was 2013, and we both graduated 2017. We started hooking up, and we were kind of in the same, like, friends group, friends with benefits thing, like adjacent circles. This was sophomore year. So it was early fall when we started hooking up.
Okay. So what is sophomore year exactly? What age is that? Dude, I don't know all these fucking American terms, bro. So they were both 19 and 20, right? Is that right? Okay. 19 and 20. No. I need the ages. The year, unfortunately, we've got a totally different system over here. So it's like, it means very little to me. People are saying 15 to 16. No, that's high school. Wasn't this college, you know?
So yeah,
Yeah, this is university. This is university. So presumably that would make more sense to be 19 and 20. University of Mary Washington. Yes, college, right? 19 to 20. 18 to 20. Fine. Okay. 18, 19, 20. Fine. That'll do.
it
Cool.
was early fall when we started hooking up. So yeah, when the first time we were just in my dorm room, we'd never talked about sex or hooking up or anything before. And yeah, he just grabbed me and like you were saying in your video, he did the same thing, like the very aggressive tongue action. And
So, okay, same thing he did in your video, but that for her own statement has been massively undermined. So she's like relying on her story to give validity to this, but her story has been undermined. So what are you even referring to then? Oh, it's the same thing as this story, which has completely crumbled under the weight of everything that's come out about it. Okay.
now.
Yep.
So I remember at the time I was like really surprised by it, but I was like, okay, like I did want to have sex, so fine, whatever. But it was surprising.
He kissed me in a way that I didn't like. It was surprising, but I wanted to have sex, so that's fine. Right. So he was a bad kisser at university. I mean, what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here? What is going on, bro? Okay, he kissed you badly in college, but he consensually fucked you. Oh, we better call the fucking cops, bro. Dude, what is going on, dude? This is insane. There's like nothing. Give it a chance. But so far, this seems like, oh, I've got someone that's willing to tell a story. There isn't really much there, but I want to push it forward because I fucking hate this guy.
When we had sex, he choked me and bit me really hard without my permission,
Okay.
which I wasn't okay with.
To be fair.
Yeah.
After the sex ended, he asked me, he's like, is there anything that you want different for next time? Like, was there anything that you weren't okay with? It was like this whole thing, like, I really prioritize communication and we need to like be on the same page. And I was like, wow, like actually, thank you so much for asking. The choking.
Nos says, we've all been choked and bitten, to be fair. I mean, sure, but it doesn't justify, it doesn't justify it having happened if it shouldn't have happened. Or if someone said, I don't want it to happen, and it continues onwards. Do you see what I mean? Like, let's not be too unreasonable here. Like, if she'd stated, and obviously we don't know what happened. We weren't there. There's no recording of this. But if it's true that someone is like, oh, I didn't like that you did that, and they had sex again and they repeated the behavior, I mean, obviously that would be unreasonable. Is it, something that we, particularly bearing in mind the age, that's a big mitigating factor here. It's at college. That's a time when people are kind of like learning. I think if the story stacked up more closely, sure. If we were still on the side that Naomi King was truthful in how she stated it, which just doesn't seem to be the case about the tongue kissing shit, maybe there's a link you could make there about an unchanged behavior, So it's like, if there was an angle there, maybe I might see it as worse. But I'm just seeing this as someone in college, badly having sex and maybe crossing a boundary. Something like that is how I'd put this.
And biting, I wasn't okay with. And the next time we had sex, he choked me and bit me again.
Of course.
Yeah, and so, I was 19, so in the moment I was like, okay, fine, like, this isn't worth bringing up again, like, it's gonna be ignored. There was one time where I was hungover. I think in general, anytime someone told him no, it was always, oh, well, like, it was like...
a challenge.
Yeah, I was like, I have a hangover, I'm not really feeling up to it. He'd wheedle, like, oh, I'd be so good, I can be so good with a hangover, blah, 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 blah.
This would be, I mean, I don't think this is close enough for me to meaningfully be concerned about this. I think if this behavior was replicated and there was more demonstrable, believable testimony or something like that he was doing it now, I'd be more concerned. But I feel like a lot of this hinges upon the idea that he has continued this behavior into adulthood. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, well, yeah, I think within reason, an 18 or 19-year-old doing something in college, unless it is like a hardline rape or something like that is just the age that people grow and develop and understand some of this stuff, and you experiment and you figure stuff out, you know? Like a pushy, you know, a 19-year-old or something, I don't think is really like, I'm like, yeah, like hopefully they learn from that and move forward, right? But I think that you'd be lying to yourself, you'd be lying to other people, and I think women also would be lying to themselves if you didn't kind of recognize that, you know, yeah, this happens, and it's just one of those development. Like the people you need to worry about are the people that are like, I've never been pushy. I've never done anything wrong in my entire life, right? Like, yeah, when you're like young, you could be pushy like this, and it's wrong. You shouldn't do it. It's by doing it that you learn that it's bad and you move forward.
How do I make money?
Obviously, hard.
False. Any normal person is horny when hungover.
Thank you for the super chat. Obviously, hardline crosses of consent, like someone says no, and you continue, that's rape, right? That is going to be a rape. And like I'm saying, there's a behavior that you would obviously still be critical of. But this, I'm like, okay, this seems like university. Young person, fucking up, making mistakes. There's not really much I can really condemn hard for this. Presuming that he's older now and, you know, you'd hope he doesn't engage in the same types of behavior, you know? I guess you could argue, well, this is the problem. You can't really argue that there's a pushiness to him because Naomi's story is fucking full of holes and isn't consistent and isn't believable. So it's like, well, yeah, okay, so he was a shitter at college.
Anytime someone told him no, it was always... oh, well, like, it was like...
a challenge.
Yeah, I was like, I have a hangover.
And also, anytime someone told him no, well, that's broadening it out to other people. I don't think it's reasonable that we accept what she is saying about others, because this is a long time ago. There could be hyperbole and stuff like that. I think I'm only really willing to listen to what she has to say about this. What is your own personal experience? Not, this is what someone else told me at the time that he was like.
I'm not really feeling up to it. He'd wheedle like, oh, I'd be so good. I can be so good with a hangover, blah, 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 blah. There was one time in the winter that I was at, he was, I believe, living in Silver Spring, Maryland. This would have been winter 2014 or maybe early 2015. And I was at Ultra Bar in DC. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's like one of the few clubs where you can get into under 21. My ride like ditched me, the person that I was with, and I called him and I asked him if he could pick me up, and he did, which I did appreciate. But then when he was driving me back to my house, he pressured me into giving him roadhead to wake him up on the drive. I was in a relationship. I didn't really feel good about it, but I didn't really feel like I could say no because I was like, you are going out of your way.
Okay. I didn't feel like I could say no. What? Did you say no? Like, it would be a problem if you said no and he pressured you. But if your perception was that you couldn't say no and you did it, I mean, I gotta be real. That's on you. Like, what do you mean? I felt like I couldn't say no, so I sucked this cock. What? I don't know, dude. This sounds insane. He pressured me into giving him roadhead to wake him up on the drive. Like, what does that look like? What did that sound like? How did he say it?
To wake him up on the drive. I was in a relationship. I didn't.
Also, dude, the other problem with this as well is saying that you're in a relationship, right? That unfortunately has a diminishment to your claim because it would actually be in your interest to deny this, if only out of a sense of like defending your ego over the idea that perhaps you cheated, you know? So that doesn't really do much for me. Like, it's supposed to be presented as, well, I'm in a relationship, so I wouldn't possibly have done this. But then it's like, but you didn't seemingly say no? So what am I to make of that exactly? So, yeah. Bit skeptical. A little bit skeptical of that.
I didn't really feel good about it, but I didn't really feel like I could say no, because I was like, you are going out of your way for me.
Yeah. Wow.
He pulled over to the side of the road, and he got like a really intense expression on his face and asked if I was on birth control. And I was like, no, like I'm not. And I think otherwise he would have come inside of me, but as it was, he just jerked off onto me.
What? Wait, hang on a sec. But if he's coming in your mouth, so what? What? You had to say? Wait, what? I feel like we're missing some steps here, bro. So we asked for roadhead. He pulled to the side of the road. He got a really intense expression on his face, and asked if I was on birth control. I was like, no, I'm not. And I think otherwise he would have come inside of me. So what? Did you fuck? Like what? Or was that like a, oh, should we fuck? And you said that, and you didn't fuck, and then he just jerked off onto you.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Okay, dude, this is...
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Me wobbling the steering wheel back and forth, babe, hurry, I'm falling asleep.
Thank you for the super chat. I'm very confused by this story. And also, you're sucking his cock. Like, wow, you're telling me that you were sucking a guy's cock and then he got intense and asked if you were on birth control because he wanted to fuck you. Like, yeah, of course. That's like the reasonable behavior. Okay, dude. This is pretty weak. This is pretty fucking weak. You know, there's no contemporaneous evidence. There's nothing. There's nothing to go off here. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna need more than this. I'm gonna need more than this testimony filtered through fucking Naomi King, okay?
Definitely, I was like watching your video, and I was talking to my friend too, and because my friend, she's like, I told her about some of the stuff before, and she's like, yeah, like it seems like there's a lot of patterns happening here. Let's see, I broke up with that boyfriend, short relationship, but I was like, I don't want to have sex with anyone. He kept pressuring for sex. There was one point, he was just really pressuring, and I was like, okay, fine. Like, as an alternative, I let him spank me and use a vibrator on me, and he used it so hard I bled.
What the fuck?
Which was...
Oh, bro! I love... Dude. The way that... Dude. Naomi King's... What? Dude! We don't know... We can't possibly discern whether or not this happened. I mean, who fucking knows, bro? Literally, who knows? Yeah, it sounds horrendous. I don't have a fucking clue whether this happened or not. It's just like, what? As if it's just true. I know she's got the little thing there. It's just an allegation, guys. I don't know, dude. I'm a bit skeptical. I gotta be honest with you. I'm a bit skeptical.
Which has never happened before or since. It was not a big vibrator.
Oh my god.
But that was unpleasant.
Holy shit.
And when I got into another relationship, this is towards the end of sophomore year, he was pressuring me to make out with my female friend. And like, this is,
Okay,
I
that's
feel like,
wonderful.
you know, this
But how do
like
I
he
make
kept
money
pressuring me to
off
make out with
depressed
my
people?
female
Yes,
friend.
girly.
Guys, yes, I know Destiny's making a statement. I've already said I'll cover it tomorrow. I'm going to be ending my stream soon. I'm covering this and a few other things in relation to this story. And I'll look at it tomorrow, okay? Don't worry, it will be there tomorrow, guys.
I was
Relax.
like, I'm in a relationship. I'm not going to do it. Not this time. And when I kept saying no, he eventually was like, pointed to me and was like, that's what I love so much about like, she's so loyal. Like, I respect this so much about her. As if he hadn't been, you know, spending the last 5 minutes trying to peer pressure me into cheating on my boyfriend.
Okay, I mean, dude. Like, this all sounds like, yeah, if this is all true and it's as bad as she's painting, yeah, he sounds like a fucking weird creep in university, sure. But, I don't know, man. I'm trying hard to not think about the fact that this is coming from Naomi King, but it's very hard to take it out of that. It's very hard to kind of move away from that aspect of it, you know? Wait, dude. No way, dude. Let's go. Uh-oh. Well, this could mean anything. What do you mean? What's the problem? This could say a multitude of things. What? A little teaser for tomorrow. Spoiler alert. Bro. Dude, it's so wild that he's... Listen, if he wants to talk shit about the fucking presentation, fine, go ahead. It's whatever. It's just funny. Has he spoken yet about the core claims or not? Has he actually spoken at all about the core claims made against him? Or is it all fucking distraction talking about everyone else? Bro, it's so fucking ridiculous.
That's so annoying.
So, it's like an unattainability
Talk
thing.
about the
Like,
allegations!
as soon as you pull
Exactly.
back more, it's, I need this, I have to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for me, he would not shut up about the time that he worked in a woman's shelter for a summer. Like, I don't know if he still was mentioning that, but it was like every single time. Even my friends were like, good God, this guy, like, we get it. He worked in a women's shelter. He was like, oh, these poor women, I just felt for their experiences and yada, yada, yada. It was terrible.
Anyway, dude. So, this person has just played. She's basically just a conduit for this person's allegation. But it isn't being meaningfully dissected, looked at, discussed. Or anything. So I'm just a bit like, okay, like, yeah, this sounds bad. But like, I don't know, there's not really much to go off here. And the concern is how it's being, used. Like, Naomi King is the presenter. Even putting that to one side and looking at purely the claim. I like, yeah, it sounds bad. If this is true, it sounds bad. But I guess I'm not really willing to just go off, over a decade ago, he was like this in college.
I just felt for their experiences and yada, yada, yada. It was terrible. He told me once, too, because, he has this whole, like, oh, like, I'm really woke and I care and I'm progressive and I'm an ally. And he told me once, he's like, I don't date black girls. Like, black girls aren't my type. Just straight up said that. Like, okay.
Okay,
you didn't have to say that. Like, that's an inside thought to have. I don't know.
He first slid into my DMs over Black Lives Matter.
Oh, yeah, no, that checks out, honestly.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, just, not unless, they're black women that seem interested in him. The Ultra Bar one is maybe the most specific, but I'm sure he's pressured plenty of women into Roadhead, too, so,
For the Roadhead, does that mean...
Okay, I mean, this just, like, this feels like the kind of thing that would normally be a private matter. Like, girlies talking together. And, they're not necessarily going to be 100% on accuracy or be generous to his side, right? Like, the girlies get together, they talk about the guy and he did the stuff and you want to fucking shit on him. It feels like, two people getting together and doing that. I don't think this comes across as a genuine attempt to bring forward an allegation that I think I would take super seriously. Very gossipy element to it, exactly. And it's absolutely insane that fucking Naomi King thought she was the right person to bring this forward. I mean, it was dismissed out of hand at the start. But, I'm just a bit like, okay, well, yeah, this sounds bad. I mean, this is bad. What do you want me to say?
Like, he got you to do it while he was driving, or he just stopped on the side of the road and made you do it?
No, while he was driving, and then he wanted to finish, so he stopped by the side of the road, which is like, I don't do that crap. It's deeply unsafe.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's one of those things where at the time you're like, oh, geez, well, he really did go out of his way to pick me up, and I don't have a lot of options, and oh boy, I guess I can. So, I feel like with him, it was always super, like, even back then, you kind of got the sense that it was really, like, practiced. Like, the stuff that he'd talk about, be good at talking the talk with, like, kink and communication, and like, I'm in the kink scene now, and this guy would never, I can't even imagine him being let into any of the clubs that I go to. Like, he'd be kicked out in a heartbeat.
Right. What has that got to do with anything? Like, what, your personal perception of whether or not he'd be allowed in a kink club? What do I care about that? Like, there's plenty of reasons someone would be let in a kink club. That doesn't really speak to your core claim, your personal perception of what that would be. And yeah, this is what I'm saying about the gossip. Oh yeah, he wouldn't even be allowed in a kink club, would he? Okay. Bro, what, I mean, this got dismissed out of hand. The thing is, this doesn't really matter because this got dismissed out of hand by everyone because Naomi King was the one bringing it forward. But I just think on its own legs as an allegation, I just don't feel like it stands up.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Naomi got caught poisoning the well, so she took the first offer from someone to poison the well for her.
It just certainly seems that way. Like, yeah, this just feels, yeah, I don't know, this feels just like gossipy shit. Like, I don't think there's anything of any meat here. And there's no fucking evidence. And obviously, yeah, how do you prove that something happened 10 years ago, something like that? Anything, any sort of message, even a message sent prior to this drama happening, right? Any sort of message or or email, something, anything at all would be to look at, just to demonstrate. Even at the time, you messaging a friend saying, oh, that Daniel guy was a bit weird, and something like, you know what I mean? You could have something like that maybe. Like, I don't know, dude. It is tricky, but, you know, if we don't have anything like that, well, we fall back to the credibility of the claim and what the claim is, and it just doesn't seem to stack up. Maybe you disagree. I don't know. Maybe you think this is more credible and I'm being unreasonable. I'm being too harsh on women. I don't see it. I don't see the angle at which I would, at worst, I would go, this seems like he was engaging in shitty behavior at college and that's bad, but not, what more can you say?
Literally.
It's wild. And I told my friend, like, years back, I was like, there's going to be some allegations against him eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I know it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I guess there's been more than one. You're not
Anything
crazy,
to back that
like,
up for real,
like,
or just saying
imagining
it?
things.
I really, really appreciate you
Oh, yeah.
reaching out. Like,
Oh, that is something else I forgot to say. He absolutely had sex at his dad's house before. He would tell me about some of the times that he had sex at his dad's house. So I don't know if that changes anything, but like, oh, I was only there to visit my dad, so I wouldn't be having sex. Like, bullshit. He told me about the stuff that he did at his dad's place. I don't know if that's changes anything at all, but, you know, there you go.
yeah.
I said, honestly, I'd seriously been waiting for years for something to come out, and it is weirdly incredibly vindicating, so.
Damn. I mean, that was nothing. I mean, what? Okay. You had a really shitty experience in college and said some things which could be worse than that, but that nothing to back it up, just you saying it. And it's through the filter of this Naomi King person. I'm willing to put that to one side. But, I mean, even with that, I'm not, what am I supposed to, like, what is there? What is there? Very cringe. Anyway, let's watch some more of Daniel Greene talking about this. He spoke about it further, just the broad allegations that were happening. So let's have a look.
This has been a weird week.
We're just going to watch this.
I got canceled.
We'll watch this and then we'll look at some of their responses.
And uncanceled in the span of 7 days. And it is a very surreal experience. In addition to what you all saw in this time, I've also had a family member in the hospital for unrelated reasons, and my cat started throwing up blood. Pips is fine, and also my family member is home and okay now. It has just actually been a nightmare. These last 7 days have just felt like continual left-right hooks from just the wildest directions. But what I keep telling myself and Kayla, I am still here, she is still here, we are still here. And I also hear you all who want to just get past this and on to regular content. Trust me too. But I hate to be this guy. I have to just say, though, in terms of legal representation and crisis PR management, which turned out to be one of the best investments of my life with the advice that I got, there's been a tremendous upfront cost. And that's not even taking into account the lost sponsors that have not reached out to me to try and recover those relationships. The likelihood of me getting a book deal or not, I have no idea. And the tens of thousands of subscribers. I'm still down viewers who saw Naomi's allegations who might not ever see my response. The long-term effects of this are still unknown to me. Investment accounts were drained to pay for things, and I don't just want to ask for money. I have never wanted to be that guy, so instead...
There's something about this, dude, I don't see it. What do you mean? He's just like... what is everyone's acting like this guy looks like some fucking, like, what is it? I don't know. He's just like a fucking regular dude. Maybe not regular if he's a YouTuber. I don't know, bro. I'm just like, well, I don't see it. He's like a cheater. He's like a shitter, cheater, fucking, you know, whatever, something like that, maybe. But.
And we decided to do something here on the channel that we normally only do once a year. But
I don't
even
see
make
it.
it big.
He's got like blue eyes. I don't see the. I don't. Genuinely, listen. I want to see raping people, but I'm not seeing it.
Bigger, we are bringing back every single one of our most popular merch designs ever, including one I find a little bit apt, the plot armor sweater, which is also now being put on a t-shirt because in some ways I kind of feel like I have it right now, and I'd like to put it on as many goblins as I can too. Now there is the option where if you don't want any of the merch, you just don't like it, there is a donation section, but we will never just blanket ask for donations without first offering, hey, you can actually get something for that, or even order one of my books, Breach of Peace or Rebel's Creed. That would be great. In addition to that, if you'd like to support us, the outpouring we've gotten on Patreon has nearly made up for the amount of patrons we lost when this first broke. So the support there has meant a ton. All you have to do is go to danielbgreene.com or find me on Patreon, and you can support me and trying to just get our life back on track to where it was before all of this even started. But I hear everyone who's saying, let's just move on from this. I want regular content back. And I agree with you. And I also need to start just getting regularly back in the algorithm and put out content that I can actually monetize. And so you notice the runtime of this video. Why don't I just bring you all the fantasy news everyone missed out on here? It was a great episode. I'm really
Okay, dude. Listen, I'm not a fan of this guy, to be clear, okay? The way he comes off is very irritating to me, right? But that doesn't mean he's a fucking sweater. He's a fucking sweater. I read that from chat. It doesn't mean he's a raper. Okay? There's not really much here. I wanted to watch some of these, though. Oh, look who it is! Jackson Dickert. Ooh, Jackson Dickert. Oh, what's going on here, Jackson Dickert?
Right off the bat, I want to apologize to Daniel Greene. I made a mistake by posting my video before Daniel had a chance to defend himself. For that, I am sorry and I am ashamed. Secondly, I have to apologize to Kayla. I have great respect for the graceful way she's handled this. I have learned from her, and I regret how my actions have affected her life. Kayla, I am deeply sorry.
Bro, bro, you had to do like a video to apologizing to Naomi for like, and distance himself from Daniel Greene, and now he's got to flip reverse it and apologize to some other fucking woman. I was like, well, you know, give this kind of reverence to this other woman. Maybe you should have just waited, bro. Maybe you should have waited a couple of days before stumbling over yourself to get out your fucking disavowal video.
Daniel has asked that creators who covered the topic update their audience on the situation. I am making this video, which, to be clear, is unmonetized, just like the last one, to respect Daniel's wishes on the matter. Naomi King has all but admitted that they lied about their allegations against Daniel regarding the supposed sexual assault. It's my opinion that they have committed slander and libel, as it's my opinion they have committed fraud, asking for people to donate money to them for a court case based on lies.
Whoa!
If Naomi is watching, I encourage you to do the right thing and return that money to the people who donated.
Bro! He's literally, bro, he's like flipped completely. This is insane. He's going hard at Naomi King, Jesus.
To you. I don't think people should feel stupid for believing Naomi or for listening to them. They gaslit and manipulated many of us. They twisted the truth, they twisted evidence, and they twisted their story to make what is looking to have been a consensual affair into something far worse. The things they lied about and the reactions from creators like me as a result have done irreparable damage to survivors and have done damage to Daniel and Kayla that they will have to work hard to heal from. Naomi could and should face serious repercussions for their actions. Allegations like the ones they brought forth are serious and therefore should be taken just as seriously when proven to be false. I will continue to listen and hear out survivors, but I have learned from this experience.
Yeah, bro, listen, I need to go anyway. But there's like loads of these. There's loads of these. Loads of people jumped the gun and ended up having to like take the L basically. And then do this kind of sad apology video. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I got it wrong. Well, maybe next time. Just wait. And here's the thing. They'll never just wait. They will never just wait. They will never just wait. I didn't jump the gun on Destiny at all. Listen, I'm seeing some of the... Listen, I gotta be honest, guys, okay? It's not looking too good. It's not looking too good. Point to me, right now, the thing that disproves he admitted to it, and he also admitted to causing harm. Where can I see that? And I will immediately issue a full apology right now if you can show me that.
And will delay judgment in the future until such time as all parties have had a chance
I'll wait
to
for the
share
link.
their side of the story.
Or timestamp.
I was trying to do the right thing, and it was difficult for me to fathom that Naomi would lie about something like this.
Okay, that isn't what I asked for. It doesn't really matter what Pixie did or didn't do. What I'm asking for, specifically, is Destiny's evidence, or whatever he's got, that pushes back on the idea that he admitted to what he did, and he admitted to causing harm. Where can I see that? Where can I see that exactly? Because you're talking about something I didn't ask for.
Obviously, I was mistaken, and I'm so sorry. Regardless of my intent, I was mistaken, and I am sorry. I'm very much hoping that this...
You didn't need to be... Dude, this is fucking insane. Oh my god, dude! I'm not watching it now. I'm watching it tomorrow. What is so hard? Someone just asked me in the Discord to watch a clip. I am watching it tomorrow. What is so hard for you fucking cretinous retards to understand? Right? I'm literally watching it tomorrow. Dude, what the fuck? You guys are fucking deranged. Just wait. Literally wait. If you want to go watch it live, you can watch it now. I'll watch it tomorrow. That's fucking primo stream content to start the day.
This video will be the last public statement I make about any of this, so I'll take some time to address the wider scope.
I gotta be honest with you. It's not looking good. If the best you've got is Pixie Bad 2. That is not looking particularly hot, I must say. I was hoping for, if there was going to be a response, okay, it was going to be well, look, here's the message that proves that it was sent consensually. Here's the message that proves something else. It seems like the best that you've got is Pixie is also bad. That doesn't sound good.
Of this situation as well.
Where can I see the evidence that Pixie had no problem with her nudes being shared?
Again, like my initial video, this one is unmonetized.
We'll see tomorrow. It's fine. Don't worry. We'll get to it tomorrow, guys.
Additionally, I have privated the original video since this morning because I now believe that it is harmful. I feared it would continue getting views thanks to the people spamming hate comments on it and driving up engagement, leading to the algorithm suggesting it to more people. That being said, I have no intention of hiding from my actions, so here's a transcript of that original video for you to review. It's easy for me to see now that, intended or not, the way I worded much of this was flat out terrible.
Bro, this guy was talking about how the evidence was like conclusive or something. And it's like, where? Where was the conclusive evidence? It was literally just like Naomi King stitching together a couple of CIA redacted screenshots to try and paint this narrative that, you're fucking delusional. You're totally delusional.
When I referred to the cease and desist as being concrete evidence, I should not have been so vague about what it was evidence of. While I meant that it was evidence of infidelity, it is clear in retrospect how everyone saw it as my stating it was concrete evidence of sexual assault. Being so vague, intentionally or not, was harmful, and I apologize. No. As someone who loves books and stories, I know how powerful words are, and I was careless with mine. I will be taking some time away from the internet.
No way.
I've never dealt with something on this sort of scale, and I'm not equipped to handle it. After this experience, I have a much greater understanding and sympathy for large creators in general. I was wrong for the stance I took. I'm comfortable saying that. I stood for what I believed was right at the time with the information I had. I will always stand for what I believe is right, but I will work on improving my judgment as I will work on not reacting so quickly to my emotions in the future. As I once again reflect on how I can make amends for the damage I have done, here is the best I know to do right now. As I stated in my initial video, I will donate the money from the videos on Daniel's channel to Rain. Any money my channel makes for the rest of the year, I will also donate to Rain, and I'll post proof at the end of each quarter. Again, I can only apologize once more to Daniel and especially Kayla. I hope they find a way to heal from this, and I hope they find a path forward despite everything that was wrongfully thrown their way. I regret that I was a part of that, and I'm so sorry.
Bro. Imagine having to make that video rather than just waiting. Rather than just fucking waiting. Literally, he could have waited a couple of days. And he'd have been in the clear. Tragic. Tragic! Anyway, listen, I'll let you guys go and watch Destiny's stream, okay? I know people are very keen to see his response. It's not looking good. I saw a couple of things. Looks like Pixie's responding as well.